Get the hell out of my house!
Yep, bye.
I'm really upset. Prather's gone for the week. It's a shame.
No, he'll be back in midweek.
Midweek?
Yeah, he'll be back midweek.
Okay.
Which means mid this episode.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. And the episodes are about a week long. Yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, imagine if that was the case.
We really do need to get to the point, though, that we record the whole time and then release it as one upload, but then throughout the week cut it up into smaller bits.
Yeah, but it'd be nice when it's warm again and we could actually just be outside like we were last time. Or even just doing it as long
I definitely prefer being outside, but Panda thinks that we have to make a box if we're going to be outside.
We do need to make a sound box.
Well, what if we just get mics?
We could get lapel mics.
If we just have lapels.
And then we could look all fancy. I'll wear a tie and a nice dress shirt.
Ooh, we could make a news program.
Yeah, and then we come in with our papers and be like...
and then talk about random crap. And not the papers will just be blank.
Alright, yes. So, today's topic is basketballs. They have been falling from the sky. Okay, it wouldn't be that ridiculous, but...
I thought we were about to talk about LeBron James.
I don't like him. Alright, I hate him. I hate the fact that everyone calls him King James. It pisses me off.
I thought you used to like LeBron.
No, I never liked LeBron. I always bitched about LeBron.
Back in the day, you liked LeBron.
No, I liked MJ.
Of course, dude. MJ is
Carmelo Anthony.
Best.
I like Steve Nash.
I don't know
and
him.
Jason Kidd.
Don't know him.
And Allen Iverson.
Don't know him. Michael Jordan's the best.
And Scottie Pippen, alright?
But Michael Jordan's the best.
Michael Jordan is... Dude, when I was younger, for some reason, Scottie Pippen, I would always be like, I'm Scottie Pippen. My friend Blake looked at me and was like, you know he's not. Whatever accent you're getting
me up, Scottie Pippen.
He was like, he'd tell me that. I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, for some reason, his name feels like he should be like, hello there, lads, and all that crap. You know, you're like, yeah.
Alright, so can I explain?
He's like a lighter skinned black guy. He's darker than the president. The old president.
The old president?
Yeah.
Most of the old presidents are pretty light skinned.
No, I meant the one that everyone was like, he's black.
We seem more mixed.
He was mixed. Yeah, he was.
Oh, okay. That explains that. So can I explain how cloning works?
Oh yeah, you started off last episode with that. We just read that entirely. Alright, yeah. How does cloning work?
Well, I mean, it depends on the price. Do you care to hear how cloning works?
I do. You break it?
You do not care?
He said he does care.
Okay, you like to hear it? Alright, so how you make a clone is you, because I watched like a documentary about this and did a little bit of research, but...
Try to make your own clone?
So, yeah, like Jeffrey Epstein, yeah.
He made a clone of himself?
You haven't heard about in Texas how Jeffrey Epstein had a ranch in Texas that was a breeding facility?
For humans?
Yeah,
for
mutants. A human breeding facility.
No, okay.
Where he had but he actually had like his semen frozen and stuff in order to use it to inseminate and impregnate women.
It's like the modern day Genghis Khan.
So he had more heirs. I'm assuming they're gonna try and use that somehow to make a clone of him at one point. I think that would be like what he was putting his money to. Is he's like, I want to have a clone. Anyways, that's conspiracy stuff. But cloning's real, and I can prove that. So the way you make a clone is if the subject is alive, you just need a sample from them that's got their DNA. So you have to take a skin sample that's about the size of a dime. So you use a syringe that has a hole in it, right? That's about the size of a dime, and you just take a chunk of skin out of the animal, and then you can use that to get the genetics and the biology from it. If the animal's dead, they take 10 samples and then try to clone it 10 times because generally they only get one success. But if it's living cells, it's a lot easier. And also, if the animal's been dead too long, it just is like nearly impossible for it to happen. It has to have been dead within I think they said when it dies within like a couple weeks, you have to put it on ice in order for them to be able to get living tissue. Because you got to take tissue samples, you know what I mean? So what you do is you take that sample, then you take a host, right? Which would be you take a female dog. It could be any species, by the way. It doesn't have to be the same breed, and you can still get so say you have a purebred dog, and then you make a clone of it. You can use any breed of dog to make the like a ditto to make the pure breed. Because you take the female, you cut open the uterus, you then remove the eggs from the uterus, pull the female genetics out of the uterus, so it's literally an empty egg, so that they don't mix genetics. Then you implant the tissue samples or the gene code into the uterus, then put it back in the female. Then using electricity, you shock it so that it artificially inseminates and doesn't have to go through the process naturally. Then it comes to term, and generally, I think they said it's like 1 out of 10 if it's from a dead animal, but then it's 1 for 1 if the thing's alive. And then so it makes a whole herd, a whole litter. It has a whole litter of clones. But then
same
of exactly the dog that you had. It makes a whole litter because you're removing the normal process of like the genes mixing together and making a whole new life. You're literally recreating that thing. Now it comes out as a puppy and it doesn't have any memories. You have to retrain the thing. It is a brand new life, but it is 1 for 1 exactly the dog that you had before.
So it have like 10.
It would even have the same fur pattern. You know what I mean? Like it'd have the same fur pattern, or if there was any, like if it was bare, it would have the same stub tail, because that's like a birth defect technically. You know, it'd have all of that. It's boom, 1 for 1. And the mother could be a Labrador, and it won't mix because you remove all the genetics out of the egg and then just implant the one set of genes. Yeah, pretty crazy.
That is crazy. There's a documentary on that?
Mm-hmm.
A documentary?
Yeah, it's a documentary about it, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's gross, though. All of it's gross.
Yeah. Did you know we also, so to extrapolate upon that, we've been able to create, like, you know Kevlar, right? For bulletproof vests, Kevlar. Do you know what they use to make Kevlar?
The spiders.
Spiders.
Goat spiders.
Goat spiders, yes, exactly. We have goats that have been genetically altered to produce spider silk.
Through the tits?
Through their milk, yes. So it comes out and it looks just like milk, but then you strain it and it's got spider threads in it, and you use that and weave Kevlar.
Really?
Yeah.
Look on your face.
Yeah, there's documentaries on that too.
The Men Who Stare at Goats 2.
Dude, that was a
that's-
great movie.
That's different. That's different. That's about telekinesis and telekinetic abilities. Yeah. What did you just say? What was it called?
ESP.
ESP, yes, ESP. Yeah.
Now they took all those drugs.
Yeah. LSD. Well, I'm pretty sure they actually did use DMT in those experiments, and while on DMT, they were like, we can like blow up goats. I mean, by staring at them.
Dude, imagine being that high.
I know.
Imagine being successful while that high.
You're successful?
Think about that, right? Like you're tripping on DMT and the goat actually explodes. You know what I mean? Like how crazy is that?
How insane would you be at that point? I did it! Anyways, cloning, honestly, the whole concept of cloning to me.
Well, morally, how do you feel about it?
Morally, I don't care.
Okay. What about you?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think that it's weird. I mean,
Yeah, it is weird.
but if it's happening, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
There has to be some.
Oh,
like,
it's
ethics
only
to it,
in
obviously.
South Korea.
Yeah.
It's
Wait,
happening
I
in
think
South Korea.
What
There has to be
what ethical problems would you run into with
That's what I'm trying to say. It's that needs to be tried through, I suppose, like going through.
Well, I mean, why? It's just an animal.
Yeah, there's still, ethics in it that are involved. It's alive. So I don't know if there's like something negative that comes from it, I guess. But if it's just your
It's literally the genetics being copied.
yeah, because that's still that animal's still gonna have consciousness. It's not like you're not. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Yeah,
It's like you're not like breeding a
But the thing
mutated
is,
dog
it's-
that doesn't. It's a vegetable. I think when you start like breeding something and that's obviously meant to be like just
like spider goats. where it's unnatural. It's a chimera.
I mean, that's kind of if it works. I don't know. That's crazy.
It does work, but it's a chimera. It's not natural in any way.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying if it's not natural. I'm saying if it's like you're creating something that's going to be in pain when it is. You created it after you created it. Like it's not
like if you mix two wrong genetics, where the animal is like now
you're torturing that animal.
Yeah.
The first clone was actually a goat.
Yeah, the Lucy.
I think it was Lucy. That sounds right.
I thought it was a lamb. Or a sheep.
Yeah,
it's probably a sheep. It was probably a sheep. But yeah, they cloned a sheep, and people were just like, well, how do we know that all sheep look exactly the same? What are you talking about?
Like, this is a clone. You can't tell, can you? Because it's a clone.
But actually, most cows for beef industry are clones. Most cows are actually cloned cows in the beef industry.
Yeah, because I mean, there's not really much difference in this cloning than there is like breeding. It's just you're now in charge. It goes back to that whole gene editing thing we're talking about.
Yeah, like CRISPR.
Yeah, it's like it does. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some issues, like keys to work out.
Yeah, I mean they're theorizing. I don't think they've actually done it yet, but they were theorizing that using CRISPR, they could gene edit mosquitoes and then make it where they make not infertile. It would be that the next generation would be sterile, right? So they were gonna
still breed,
they would breed, and then everything that was bred wouldn't be able to breed, and then the mosquitoes would die off as long as they could get 5% of the population.
Don't they think that mosquitoes serve literally no purpose? There's like
I think so, but bats.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, I'm sure there is a purpose for them. But
yeah, the ecosystem wouldn't I don't think, because I used to think wasps served no purpose. Then I looked into what wasps do, and I was like, oh, okay, they're actually useful.
If you got rid of the bats feeding, because bats eat them, there's a couple other animals that eat them.
Yeah.
But if you got rid of part of their food source, at that point they're gonna have to change food source. And what would that food source then be? And then what effect would that have on the rest of the world?
Or would they just die off because they have less food? Or if they wouldn't die off, they would diminish.
I think they would change their food source at that point.
Maybe.
Because
they become vampires.
They would
mutate. They would evolve. They would learn to infect human beings.
So that's where vampires came from. They're like, we can't get the blood from mosquitoes, so we're gonna go to humans.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the ones that's where the blood is. That's what they're doing.
No, I don't know. But we've also been cloning humans for a long time now. But the thing is, because humans are so, you still have a belly button as a clone, because you have to. You're still in the mother's womb and you develop.
They put me in a tube.
Huh?
Carlex White didn't have one.
They put me in a tube.
Or
a tube. No, a tube.
Mummy.
Well, that's true. But no, even the babies that we grow in pods have umbilical cords.
They fucked up with me somewhere. I may have been a defect.
I'm just saying, they
I have 2 belly buttons.
One on your front, one on your back.
I really do. Yeah. Have you seen that? I've got like a indentation on the back.
Oh, like a back button.
Have you seen that?
I have a back button.
No.
Is it an outie or an innie?
It's an innie, I guess.
Your other belly button out. How does it go all the way through?
It's just my ass.
Yeah.
I do.
But you can clone humans, but the thing is, you have to. Oh wow! Yeah, it's like a back button. Yeah.
You guys ever noticed that?
No. That's so funny.
But so you can clone humans, but you have to grow them inside of bigger wombs.
Like
so you
have
to grow them inside of cows. But the thing is, the cow won't take it because it's a different species. So you actually have to genetically alter the human to make it part cow. So you grow half cow, half humans inside of cows that look exactly like humans. There's just minor alterations to their genes to give them some cow DNA.
Stupid cows. Taking all our good genes?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that though?
That's how you can make super soldiers. You can make Captain America as long as you clone him because you use CRISPR to give him the best genetics he can possibly have, and then you have to grow him inside of a cow.
Dude, if you gave people the genetics of
because you can't grow them inside of people because that's against human rights.
Do we have rights?
Yeah. They're going away, but we have them currently.
I meant in the realistic sense of the word, what right do we actually have?
I have a right to pursue happiness.
Inalienable rights such as the right to pursue happiness and
the freedom of speech, the ability to protect myself, to own
I don't
land.
think we have actual rights.
Yeah.
I think we've told ourselves we have rights. things, and that we're like, this is a thing that we deserve to have. It's like, I don't think that's true.
No. Deserving to have is different than rights.
Your rights is what you deserve. It's like, that's a thing.
Right, but they're not goods. You don't deserve goods. You just deserve the ability to exist, right? Which preservation is a right. So self-preservation is a right.
The freedom to speak however you wish is a good in a sense. It's a commodity.
No, it's not.
Because
it's the use
someone
of
could
your
put
own
you on your
voice.
knee, put a gun to your face, and then you'd be like told not to talk anymore.
Right, because that person's
now
taking your
they've
rights
taken
from you.
your commodity, which is your voice.
No, they're not taking your commodity. They're taking your right.
You had like
It's
a
still
robot.
good.
Guess what?
You had like a
You know
robot
what?
voice thing that translated stuff, and then it took that thing.
I know.
That would probably.
Yeah, I was about to say though, if someone puts a gun to your head and says you can't say these things anymore, they didn't actually take it away from you.
All I was gonna say is I'm just gonna say those things because they're gonna pull the trigger or they're not. That's all that's gonna happen.
I'm gonna try to take the gun
Nah, I'm just gonna be a dick.
as I say those things.
I'm gonna be a dick, just like I do to cops. Okay, when cops come up and they're like, "Sir, can I see your license and registration?"
Because you have the right to remain silent.
And then they're like,
You don't have
and then
to
they talk
talk.
to the person in the passenger seat. They're like, "Can I see your license?" And like, no.
You tell them that.
Yeah, all the freaking time, because they have no right to talk to the passenger.
You tell them that they can't have passengers ID.
Yeah.
If he's the
Or
passenger.
if
If you're the passenger,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, the driver can do that too. The driver can be like, no, you don't need to see his ID because it's not your, it's not. He's
I'm
not
the
driving
driver.
the car. Or anything.
Yeah.
You're checking the operation of the vehicle, and if I did something that was wrong, it's all on me.
Yeah,
the
not
passenger
the
wouldn't have
passenger.
anything to do with this.
And like that's the way it looks. But anyways, rights. All right. I don't think humans actually have rights in the grand scheme of like. It's
I think
just-
you're wrong.
It's like, yeah, you can talk if you want. Yeah, go for it. It's like,
Yeah, it's a right. You have a right to talk.
you can just do it.
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like right is such a weird
I
word.
think your
Maybe.
definition of right is not accurate. I think what you're thinking right means is not what it actually means.
Well, right has many different definitions. That's
Exactly.
the problem.
Yeah.
And I don't think right should be the word we use.
No, I like it.
I just don't feel like that's a word we should use for it.
I think it is. I feel like it should be a word we use for it.
I really don't.
I really do.
And like, this is the moment that we have this conversation where it really comes down to the definition, and it bothers me because I hate that definition. It's like you have the right to do these things.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's what the Bill of Rights is for.
Yes.
And it's like, and then like to say rights also seems like you're like there's wrongs. You have wrongs.
Yeah, taking away other
No, I
people's
think
rights.
okay, that's different. That's right. That kind of right and wrong are one thing, and then rights are.
Yeah, that's why I think we should use a different word.
Rights are legal, social, or ethical principles of freedom or entitlement.
Yeah. You're
That's
entitled
rights.
to be able to speak. You're entitled to be able to protect yourself. You're entitled to be able to purchase land
Nah,
and own it for yourself and not
It's-
have someone
it's-
take it from you by
yeah.
force.
you're entitled.
Yes,
You're
because you exist.
Yeah.
The inalienable rights that were granted through your existence.
I mean, it's through it is through government. Through
No,
what it is.
no, the government does not
It is
grant you
through
rights.
ethical-
No.
Yes, that's what that
No,
means.
no,
That's
the Bill of Rights, the point of it is
The
saying
defi-
that
I'm
the
just gonna read
government can't take these from you. The government doesn't grant
Yeah,
rights.
but it's like within because the government exists, they need to put up these rights. If there were no government, then you would have rights, but it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I
You
know
wouldn't
what
have to
you're
establish rights.
Yes, but the government didn't grant the rights.
Right.
So then I
Because-
have the right to
because
take
of-
your land from you if
Or
I wanted
ethical-
to, because along those same thought process and lines, if we take away the fact that it is just literally a government
No,
mandate
the
saying
government
that
did
you
not,
have the right to do
no,
these
the
things.
government does not have any authority to give anyone rights.
Right. It's just
Exactly.
there.
And this is what I'm saying. Okay, you ready?
They just are.
You know, this is what I'm saying. Ready? Back in the olden days, we wrote all these nonsense, bullcrap, whatever, and then prior to all that, you and I made a bet or a deal.
No,
a
no.
bargain.
Prior to all that, we had a leader who would do whatever they wanted and infringe on those rights
No. Listen.
because
And
the
then-
rights weren't in a document.
You listen, and then you and I come up with a bargain, and then you lose the bargain to me. I'm like, I have the right to have your house now.
Well, yeah,
This
we
is
made
my
a
location.
deal.
This is mine. But you say no, you don't have the right. This is my house, right? And you're
Okay.
like, this is my house, and I'm like, but I have the right. I'm entitled to this thing that you also have the right to tell me no.
You're-
I'm not entitled.
Your example is really bad because you established
Because
that
the
we
right
made
is-
a deal. You
the-
established we made a deal and then I lost
The
on the
right-
deal, therefore I don't have the
Your
right
rights
to
are literally just what you choose. What you choose, you should be able to have and do. That's your rights. That's it. So if you and I come up with a bargain and then you negate on that bargain and
If I
say
back
no,
off the bargain, no, then I'm in the wrong.
it's your right to be like, no, I don't want to. Because it's
No,
still
it's
your
not.
right. Because
No, it isn't.
otherwise, then it's a legal thing. It's not a human thing. It's a legal thing. Is what
Yeah.
you're saying then.
Look, I have free
'Cause
will,
you're
so
right.
obviously I could then say I back out of this bargain even after I've lost, but then
And
that's
that-
what we have law for, because it's like, well, we came to an agreement that this would be what transpires.
Okay,
Your example is not relevant to what rights are.
No, because
you're not understanding.
you were saying the rights are not just the legal obligation, but that's why I gave you the example of we made a bargain, a deal. That is a legal obligation.
Right, you and I.
Came up with a
Guess
deal,
what?
Right?
The reason we can make that is because we have rights.
Yeah, and then you also, as a human being who can make choices, have the right to say no and not do that. After it's said
Obviously.
and done, right? Right? That's all I'm getting at. Calling them
Okay.
rights in the sense of
Here's
I
the
can
thing.
just do it
Okay.
because it's
No,
validation.
okay, let me put it this way.
You see what I'm saying, right?
No. Okay, look, I have
Yes,
to break
you don't
this
have the
down.
right.
I have to break
You have
this
the
down for
ability.
you to understand what I'm saying. Okay, I have the right, because of freedom of speech, to say, no, I don't think that this should happen.
You have the right to do
I
that.
can do that, but I cannot actually stop you because I gave it up in a deal.
No,
So
'cause-
you don't have the right
That's
to
not
stop
a right.
someone else. You have the ability to stop someone else from saying something, but you don't have the right to stop someone else from saying something.
Yes,
So it's
you
like
have the ability to do
use
it.
things, but you don't have the
I have
right.
the ability to put a gun to your head, but I don't have the right to kill
Say
you.
we didn't have like a.
then what's the separation between the rights? That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like I think
Rights
right is still the wrong
or
word
innate.
for your ability. Because innate
Yeah.
sounds like you just have the ability to do it. Because that's what an innate is.
Yeah. It means
Innate
that-
means you can just do it.
They're God-given.
Exactly. So can't call them rights if they're innate abilities. That's all I'm getting at.
No,
If they're innate things, because you can just speak whatever you fucking want, right?
Yeah.
That's an innate God-given ability that you have.
Yep, I can.
All right, and then I tell you to shut up, and I have the right because I have the freedom of speech
You're
to tell
allowed
you
to
to shut
say-
up, right?
No.
I have the right,
to
to
speak.
tell you
Yes.
because of
so
my
you
freedom
can
of
tell
speech.
me to stop talking.
All right?
I don't have to though.
Exactly. You don't because it's your innate ability and gift that you were given to do this. My rights doesn't matter if you have the innate ability to fucking do it. The opposite of what I have.
No rights stop other people from having those rights. There's no rights that conflict. That's not right. If anything, you're
It's
getting.
your innate thing. Your existence is innate. So being like
You don't have a. No, here's the thing. Like he just said, it's a good way to put it. And I'll use your example. I start saying something and you say, shut up. You don't have a right to stop me from talking.
What?
You can ask me to
It's
stop
my innate
talking.
ability to stop.
You can tell me to stop talking. You have no right to stop me from talking.
It's your
What would you
innate
do?
ability.
What would you do
But
with
the
the
thing-
right to stop?
But
me
see,
from
that's my
talking?
thing. Is rights is not the right word then, because rights is a legal thing.
Yeah.
My right is a legal thing,
Well, it's
not an
legal- it's
innate
legal-
ability.
Well, it's
thing.
legal and it's a legal and like ethical kind of construct
The-
too. It's
exactly,
like-
which
but
means it's a
but there's
society given
it's-
thing.
Yeah. It's a societal thing for sure.
And it's not a God-given right. It's just a society-given right,
The
not
rights
an
were
innate
not.
ability.
The rights were not given by society. The rights were not given by the government. The rights were given by God, and the government and society are not allowed to infringe upon those.
I think that's the idea behind rights, but the
That's not
government
the
too
case,
does
though.
have to establish. It's like these might be the rights that you said God gave you, but the government has to acknowledge that and put that into action.
No, the problem is people have to acknowledge
it
that.
and then put it.
People as a whole society have to acknowledge that that is your right. If a person walks up like freaking Genghis Khan, who had
Well,
who
no.
believed that he had the right.
No, they're still your rights. A person doesn't have to acknowledge them.
No, it's your innate given things. It's not your rights.
It doesn't have to be acknowledged by anybody. It's still my right.
That's why it's just innate. It's
Because you can sit here and say,
it's an
I don't
innate
acknowledge
thing.
these rights, and I'm like, well, there are.
No,
And it's
that's
as simple as
an
that.
ethical right, not an actual innate right. Your innate given thing is that you exist. That's it. That's the only thing you're given. Your existence. That is period. Dot.
Through existence, I'm given other things.
Through your existence, you can do other things.
It's all depending on where you're born too, because there's people that live in like, Ethiopia that.
They have those rights. The problem is they live under tyranny. They have the same rights. It's
So
human
they
rights.
don't
It's
have the rights.
We
That's
just
what we
happen
fight
to live in a great society that established from the beginning the government can't infringe on this crap because this is what it means to be alive. Where we came from a dictatorship of a king, right? And then we migrated over here because we said, F that crap, we don't want to deal with it anymore. So we came here and said, this is how it's going to be, and if we're going to establish leadership, the first thing we got to settle is that these are things that the leadership can't mess with.
So it's a right.
Exactly, it's a right, yeah.
You're given talent. You're given innated thing that you have as your existence. That's it. It's the only thing you have.
Mm-hmm. And what comes with that? Yeah.
What comes with that is what you choose to do with it. That's not a right. So you're saying
one of the things that come with existence is the freedom of speech, the ability to defend yourself, the right to own property.
Those are not human rights. Those are literal, electoral, given, passed down throughout generation rights. Those
not having people in your house without your choice.
No, that's not a.
Those kind of things are rights, yeah.
Those are your choices that you can choose to act upon or not act upon. But the thing is, calling it a right in the sense of like, hey, the government can't do this, this, and this, that was given down as a passing of law. Now, another person, let's say we live in a totally different country, not the country we do live in, right? Another totally different country where there's just native people that exist and they hang out together.
I think whatever you're going to say, we're just going to agree with, but that doesn't mean that you're winning the point.
They just talk and they just goof off, whatever, right? They can just do whatever because that's just, and they don't have a lot of these like indigenous tribes don't really have rules and laws other than possibly don't kill each other.
Unless under these circumstances.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, that's really it. Their innate thing is that they just exist. And they fuck around with whatever they want to do. They just do whatever.
Instead of being killed, you have a right to an actual trial. That's amongst your peers.
I'm done with this conversation because clearly rights to you and what I'm arguing is the fact is the word right is wrong.
What you're saying is that yes, outside of the country that took the time to say, hey, government, you can't do anything about this. This is how it is. Outside of that, people will bully you and take your rights away. Yes, absolutely.
No, I'm
you
saying
born with you're like a you're
I'm saying rights isn't the right word.
You are born with these.
Right means that you just get this period because as you called it earlier, it is your what was the word you used? Start with an I and I lost it now.
Innate?
No, not innate.
God given right? I think it was innate. I think innate is the word you're looking for.
No, it really came down
Inalienable.
to the word that he used really came down to making it sound like this is what you are supposed to have. You're supposed to be given.
Yeah.
And it's
I
like
that. Yeah, you're supposed to have them. Yeah.
But
you're born with them.
That's no, you're not born with them.
Yes, you are.
You said you're supposed to have them. You're supposed to be given.
You're born with them,
that
so you have
doesn't mean
them. You're born with them, so you have them. But someone else can come up and just take it from you.
Anyone can take anything from you.
Exactly.
And that's their human right.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is because they exist. They can just do whatever the fuck they want because they exist.
Yes.
That's all I've been getting at. Right is not the right word for that.
But there's no right for stealing. There's no right for taking from someone else without their permission.
I'm feeding my family. That's an ethical problem that we run into. I'm feeding my family. I don't have the money to do it.
You don't have the right to take from someone else.
I can't do it. And then in a court of law, people have gotten away with it because of the fact they were doing something for good. That's all that comes down from. Because the freedom of speech is a law. A lot. Almost everywhere. Because you can
almost
say
everywhere. No, it's not.
Like, you can speak whenever you want.
You can't.
But the thing is, we can't just say whatever we want at all points in time. Even here in America, we really can't.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. No, yeah.
But the thing is, you have the right everywhere to just say whatever you want.
As long as you're willing to do it with consequences.
Yeah.
It's a different thing.
And that's the thing, though, is right is not the right word. That's all I've been arguing. That's all I've been arguing is right is not the right word.
What's the right word then?
I don't know. That's why I said at the very beginning of this, I'm like, I feel like right's not the right word. We should use a different word.
Things people can't stop you from doing. Is that better?
Yeah.
There you go.
You existing.
That's a right.
You existing.
That's a right.
You existing are things that you can do. Now, you want to go attack this guy? He may kill you for attacking him.
Well, you don't have a right to attack him.
I said you want to go attack this guy, he may kill you for attacking him.
Right, because he has the right to self-defense.
Yeah, and if you felt like you have the right to go attack him, you have the right to go attack him.
No, you don't have the right to go attack him.
Why? Who says who? Says who? Answer that. Says who?
God.
Yeah. Which he's talking about. So I guess where the disconnect is that you're saying like the Bill of Rights are the Bill of Rights are not our rights. What our rights are the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. Those are our inalienable rights. So that's a blanket, like, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
If a government is going to be a proper government, this is the guidelines that they're going to go with, these are just God-given rights. And with that, you get the bill.
I think you should get rid of the whole government part of it, because that's what makes the whole conversation really annoyingly confusing.
Yeah. So it's like, take government out, you're still, without that, you still have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Mm-hmm. Without any sort of...
Yeah. And what if your life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness is to go murder that man over there?
No, because you're then infringing on his rights. You can't infringe on someone else's rights.
You can, though.
No.
Yeah, you can. Very easily.
No, you can't. That's
Freedom
wrong
of-
of you to
freedom
do.
of will.
And now you're a bad person, and we're going to kill you.
That's
Because you infringed on the
That's a
rights.
society thing, though. That's the problem. It's a society thing.
Okay. Sure. I can see that
I
point.
mean, he does argue a good point, because we still have wars. That's what wars are.
Yeah. It's literally us being like, I want to go take that thing,
It's
and I'm going to go do that thing.
But those are, like, that's with or without government, those are the rights. Those are, like, that's the foundation of what we have. With whatever you decide, like, your life is, what your liberties are, and whatever your pursuits are, like, that's up to you to determine, to understand. But it's the government to say whether or not that it's legal.
Yeah, that's really all it comes down to. Is it legal to do these things? No, it's not legal to go kill a person. No, it's not good for you to go do these things. But whether or not you have the ability and innate right to do it is
you're
totally different.
overcomplicating something that's really simple by saying that. By saying, no, it's not legal to go kill someone. It's really, really more simple than that. That person has the right to life. You have the right to life. Therefore, you can't kill them.
Why?
They have the right to life.
Yeah.
You have the right to life.
Yeah.
So you can't kill them.
And you're still shoes.
I can go kill him, absolutely. But you don't have the right to do that because you're taking his rights away from him. It's really, really simple. It's actually so freaking simple. It really just boils down to you should love everybody.
Yeah, you should.
That's
you should just love everybody.
As simple as you can boil it down to.
Yeah, no,
I think you should love everybody. Because of people being stupid like you're being right now, we have to make these